Add stream. All right, I'm here.
Okay, have fun.
I'm throwing it in the chat. If anybody wants to come in. I'm gonna put my robe on wherever it is.
Your smoking jacket.
Right? Oh wait, I gotta end this one, right? All right, come over to the other one. To my stream.
Just close those.
Yeah. All right. Whoever wants to come in, then go in. Put the link in there. There's the link. Tommy's like, I gotta find his. Oh, thank you. Just me, Kathy. Oh, here we go. Who's that? Drew's reseller? Reselling? Do you want to come in?
Hey, mate, how you going?
Hey, you came in. All right.
Hey, how you going?
What's up?
Not too bad, mate. So,
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
mate, how you going?
We were just,
Oh, hang on, I got you on echo. You got me on echo.
hey, you came in. All
Oh,
right.
yeah, I got you on echo. Sorry. There we go. That's good. Yeah, no, I was talking to Tommy. I get on pretty well with this manager at this op shop, and he showed me this VHS tape they found, and it's Whitney Houston from 1988 doing a live concert in Queensland, Australia.
Yeah.
At a big marina that opened up called Sanctuary Cove, and the tape I've got, it's professionally filmed, so it's like as you would a football game, you know, all the different cameras and angles and zoom outs, and you know, the fade in, fade out, the mute that sounds fantastic and everything else. And but I can't find it. It's never went to TV. It's like it was made for TV or a DVD or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was never ever released. And this has no title, so it has no text on it whatsoever. It's just purely raw pre-production edit. So, you know, how long's a piece of string? What's it worth? I contacted the PSA mob who do all the valuing for signatures, comics, and you know, cards and stuff like that, and they said they wouldn't be able to do it because it's beyond them type thing. They couldn't validate and whatnot. So, and Tommy said there was another auction house in California called, is it Julian's, I think, auctions.
Mm-hmm.
And they auctioned off one of her jumpsuits for about $34,000 US.
Oh my God.
Now there is a lot of footage of her live in Germany and Japan and all those type of things, and probably Madison Garden. You know, there's 1,000,001 videos of her live. So, but if this has never been seen before, and she was only 25 at the time, being 1988, so she was fairly young. I think even her mum was still chaperoning her back then too, so because they were very stout Christians. So. Yeah, so it was kind of, I mean, I can show you some photos here.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a VHS tape with a sticker on it, basically. There's nothing.
What did the sticker say? Like, it just said...
Yeah, it's made by a production company that no longer exists anymore.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so don't forget, I'm 88. It's like 31 years old. It's pretty vintage. So, so I did put it up on eBay for $20K, thinking, oh well, yeah, I was going to see if someone hits it. But and then I was talking to Rod, I do the waffle with on Wednesday, and I talked to Tommy, and they basically said, nah, take it down. Look, there's no money on eBay for rare stuff. You got to go to auction houses for that, so it gets more credibility and so on and so forth. So
yeah, you got to get some. Yeah, that has to get like. Not a certificate of authenticity, but it has to be kind of authentic.
More provenance in a way, like more. Yeah, okay, it must be real if they're selling it, because I mean, an auction house has a reputation on the line. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll put the screen share in StreamYard now. So that's just the video tape itself. That's it.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty a la carte. Now, there's no, as I said, there's no text at the start. There's no text at the end. There's no voiceover, there's no nothing. It's just basically the raw footage. And then when you look at So that's it. Video 10 production, Sanctuary Cove, Whitney Houston concert, 1988. That is. So basically, what it is, it was a massive marina. They spent millions of dollars on it. Okay, and that's her. That's me taking a rough shot on my TV in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she's definitely young, hey, but
I mean, it definitely looks. Yeah, it's professionally done.
it's professionally done. The sound's professionally done. Everything's done. It's not a hand. And don't forget, 88. There's no mobile phones with cameras. In concerts in Australia, I don't know about the US, but we weren't allowed to have any type of flash photography for the performers because it can make them, momentarily blind. They can fall off the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's basically it. So, it's what do I do now? I contacted the auction house. I sent them photos and everything else, and I've had no reply. I contacted Sony. I believe Sony Music has the rights to her songs, and whether they wanted it or not as well. But I haven't heard back from them either. So I was just going to get in on the phone on Tuesday and call California and say, hey, look, I sent you an email. What do I do from here? And I think the biggest fear that can easily be copied and propagated, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Therefore, I can see them going, oh, no, thanks. Where a jumpsuit, it's kind of really a one-off,
Exactly.
So, but it's a shame that I have something that could be worth lots or it could be worth a lot to someone, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as her estate was concerned, I think it was 25 million in the red when she passed away. So I don't think they would be looking to spend anything on it.
Yeah, right.
All I can imagine is getting a letter from their lawyer saying deceased and desist and give it up or else, But it'd be a shame just to. I'd like to see it go somewhere, but I'd like to see it somewhere where someone could, take snippets of it and create a DVD or a best of Whitney Houston live concert worldwide or something, and take sections of mine and sections of later on in life as she tours the world,
Yeah, absolutely.
five times over. I mean, the preservation would be better because it's just such a shame. She had a gorgeous voice, just unbelievable and so powerful, and to end it the way it ended, it's just a tragedy. But apart from the sentimental stuff like that, and I'm also going halves with the it's a cancer-based op shop, so they help people with cancer and stuff like that, and also help their families. So, which is obviously a worthy cause too. But yeah, I know it's going to take a long time to go through all these hoops to see who wants it, and even contacting Sanctuary Cove themselves because they're still getting multi-million-dollar yachts pulling up every day, from all around the world. It's not. It's the Gold Coast in Queensland's a bit like Miami, if you can understand. It's kind of like all the high-rise, beautiful Golden Beach, nice surf, big party life, restaurants everywhere, and the rich and shameless go there. So, yeah.
That'd be awesome. It's definitely got provenance. You know what I'm saying, with the label, from the production company. So I'm just wondering about the quality if anything like deteriorated or anything like that.
No. I've played it again today, there's a few little VHS, kind of little tears in the video, but they're so far and few between.
Yeah,
it's hardly even noticeable. You got to understand it's 31 years old too,
right?
It's a media format that does deteriorate over 50, 60 years. So.
You should play it on the VCR I have up for sale on my web on eBay.
Yeah,
I have $1,000 VCR on my.
Oh yeah. What's that? Yeah, I had a Panasonic, a dubbing one where you could dub VHS to CD or CDRWs. So I can copy it if I want, I guess. But and there's also. What kind of VCR sells for $1,000?
I'll show you. It's very rare.
Well, did Elvis sign it or?
No, I'll show you.
Yeah, because we got upscaling ones here. They'll upscale to 1080p, and we get about $500 to $600, and a lot of professional use them and charge people to get their old wedding VHSs onto CD for prosperity, or even a memory stick.
Here, let me show you. Let me share. All right, let's see.
Betamax, is it?
No, it's a top loader. It's a VHS.
VHS, wow.
Yeah, but it's a top loader.
Yeah.
And it's the first one. This is the first VCR that ever had a wireless remote.
Wow.
And that right there, that back piece, that's the remote sensor.
And
it works. It works perfectly.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, like everything, like totally works. And there's like the back right there.
And if you don't mind me asking, what'd you pick that up for?
$15.
Oh, out of the park. Man.
So yeah.
Sweet.
So I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, that's a great score. That is.
Yeah, that was fun. But I mean, it's just gonna take the right buyer. It's gonna.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, they're out there. They're out there for sure. Especially the vintage electronics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially like the top load. You know, certain top loading VCRs are worth a lot. But like one of these guys that knows all about this stuff, he told me, he's like, dude, that VCR is so rare.
Yeah.
That you have the sensor, because that VCR, when it came out in 1980, it was $1,300.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Not inflation. It was $1,300, and the remote and the remote sensor was another $800.
Yeah. I used to work in IT when I was like 18 and 19, and we used to work on just PCs and XTs, just all floppy drive driven. You know, like I just got there before the 8.5 inch. They went to 5 1/4, and then it was about 3 years later they brought out the first hard drive, and it was a Tandon. It was about the size of a brick. Yeah. I think it was 5 megabyte, and I was $700 set.
Yeah. Can you just, the kids are literally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
They're not 5 minutes away. They're like almost asleep.
Okay. Yeah, I just got to say goodnight to my kids. So. Yeah. So, any thoughts on what I could do with this tape, or I just keep pursuing what I'm pursuing and see where it ends?
I think you're on the right track. You definitely wanted to get an auction house to like kind of. You're gonna pay. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna take a lot of the. Hey,
I pay 13% on eBay. Doesn't matter. 7% ain't gonna kill me.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna take a big cut of it, but they're gonna do all the work for the provenance, for the just like making sure it's the right thing.
For sure. For sure.
So I mean that's what I would do. I would definitely let them do the legwork, because anything coming from like a seller like like us, it's just kind of like I don't know, And
Oh, it was how many copies he made out the back and reprinted the label,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if and what they can do now, the thing is with a lot of these auction houses, you're gonna have to wait until they have a
particular sale.
Well, they're gonna have a themed sale.
Yeah, that's fine by me. Hey, I'm all waiting. Yeah, I knew it'd be it's a very long tail item to get the type of money. But I mean, what's it worth? Is it worth $3,000? Is it $10,000? Is it $50,000? Is it $100,000? I mean, like, how rare is it? That's the question.
And that's the thing. It's like, it's so rare that you're not going to put a price on it. People are just going to buy it. People are going to bid on it, and whoever wants it is going to spend the most.
And as Tommy was saying to me, people with money do go, okay, they do go to auctions. They don't go to eBay.
They're not buying. And you got to deal with the shipping. They want it in hand. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I'm back in a sec, man. I just gotta say goodnight to the kids.
My kids are sleeping. That's someone like Kurt Cobain's like nasty cardigan sweater just sold for like $186,000 at auction. That's the, you know. Tommy said he'll trade you the Cat Diesel denim shirt for it.
Yeah, what a bargain! Not. Oh no, thanks. No.
Yeah, were you watching us model our vintage gear we had?
Yeah. I kids had like their school concert tonight type thing where they get up and dance and sing and stuff for Christmas, and they're only in like primary school, so. Well, elementary school, as you guys call it, I think.
Yeah, elementary.
Yeah. And then we had to go to shops, come home, had tea and stuff. So, and I just tuned in, and then then Tracy had to go to bed. And I think I got there just as the cat came out. So yeah. I was like, whoever wants to come in, come on in. I'm up. I'm not going to bed. I'm gonna do because it's 4 a.m. here. Yeah, it's only.
But I'm a night owl.
7:20 p.m. here.
So weird.
It is weird.
And I'm gonna sleep during the day because I do full time reselling. So I've been listening while we were chatting and stuff. So
see all this crap behind me on the same.
Yeah. I got it dim because my kids sleep. One of my kids sleeping right here, over here. So he's a hard sleeper. So. Yeah. He ain't waking up. So
we had this lightning strike. It must have been about 100 yards or so from the house, and my daughter, the whole house shook, and we all got up. One daughter slept through it. It's so hopeless, absolutely hopeless. No, it's a good thing. Yeah, all right, I'm not. Sorry,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so where do you source from mainly? Do you do auction houses? Do you like storage units, or do you pick from other people?
All right, so I do a lot of garage sales.
Yep.
Now that's during like the spring and summer months. It's cold here because I'm in West Virginia.
Oh yeah.
So it's cold.
Yeah,
so no one's really doing. But so I live in kind of a medium-sized town, nothing big, nothing. But we have like 2 thrift shops in my town, and then there's like 20 minutes away, there's like 4 or 5. So I do a lot of thrifting. I do a lot of retail arbitrage, and I do auctions too. I go to auction houses that
yes.
The auction houses they do. So what they do is they instead of a estate sale around here, because sometimes people they don't want it at their house.
Yep.
They hire a company and they take all the stuff out, and they'll have it at what they call like an American Legion Hall or a VFW hall out here, and then they'll put everything in boxes. They'll just put random stuff in, like they'll kind of lot it all together in boxes.
Yeah.
And let me zoom out so I can use my hands. They'll put it all in boxes, and then what they'll do is they'll go box by box and auction that off. So those start at $10, no one, $5, $2, $1, and then it just goes up.
Yeah, we used to have physical auctions here, but now it's all online. It's like just because of there's like 2 major auction houses in Brisbane, which is like the capital city about an hour south of us, and it's just all online now, and just everyone bids it up to the point where it's it's almost collector prices, not a reseller price. Sometimes you're lucky, but it's hard to come by.
See, now the ones we have, like the ones I like are the ones there's one guy that does them, and he does them on Tuesdays at 9 a.m.
Awesome.
So there's not a lot of there's not a lot of competition, like
a lot of end users per se.
Yeah, or like I call it like weekend bidders, where
weekend warriors.
Yeah, they'll come out like, oh, let's just go to the auction and spend some money. Now these guys, but a lot of these older guys are like looking for like Civil War memorabilia and stuff like that, and they don't care about the small stuff that doesn't matter.
Vintage electronics and stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't care about that. Where I can get a whole I got a box of like 2 like VCR DVD combos for $1. So
awesome.
I filled up my entire truck for $50.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
The other thing I watch a lot of storage unit guys, that are over in the States. Obviously, storage units here in Australia is absolute rubbish because what they do is it's all online. There's no live bidding. There's very little. I think the whole of Queensland, which consists of probably 6 million people, I think there's 40 units up for sale at the moment. And what they do is they pull every single thing out because they've got to try and remove all personal paperwork. And in doing that, they then photograph everything, and then they put it all back in. So what you bid on is what you know. There's no secrets.
Yeah,
they tell you basically what's in each box. So there's no surprise. There's no hunt. There's no treasure. But one thing I've been watching a lot of these guys, they do a lot of volume because they're just after the next jewelry box.
Yeah,
and everything else around them is just an annoying thing they have to get rid of at the moment.
Trash to them, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's trash, but it's $2 or $3 at the market just to turn it and burn it and move on. And I was wondering if you could approach these guys with a business card and say, "Hey, look, like American Pickers, they walk up to someone, with a list of stuff they buy. Hey, if you get any of this stuff and you want a quick flip, give us a call."
Yeah,
and then they can send you a couple of photos on the phone and you can just throw a price back at them. And 9 times out of 10, because these guys are desperate because they don't want to list on eBay.
Yeah.
There's one guy I watched, Locker Nuts. I don't know if you've seen. He's in California. And I think he buys about up to 4 a week or something. And he's only got 200 items on his eBay store because he just doesn't have time. He doesn't have the place to store it. He doesn't have time to pack and ship and take photos. So I think what's the guy from 10K to the Bay? What's it called now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's changed it all. Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, but anyway, that's beside the point. And Daily Refinement. He's changed.
Yeah, Daily Refinement. Yeah.
And he was there because his locker's in the same complex where they bought this locker. And they started chatting, and I think he ended up with all her shoes she got from this locker, and they were like $200 pair of shoes.
That's like
she had a whole boot full of them, and I think he bought them for cheap and flipping them on eBay for her or for himself, if that's what I meant. So she's already got the money back. But and I saw that, and I thought, well, that'd be a great option for a full-time reseller that doesn't want to do units because there's so much rubbish involved with units. And you get like that rapport that you'll be just the go-to as long as you can fling the cash at them when they want it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they take what they want, and then it's like, all right, we'll just sell that. Yeah. And you can probably get it for pretty cheap,
Yeah. As I say, they just want to turn and burn. They just want that next jewelry box that's going to get them 10 grand in gold or something. They're not interested in. You can see, same with Storage Auction Pirate and all that. All they do is it's zooming straight into the coins, the money, the safes, and the jewelry boxes. Yeah. And everything else they get. I mean, there are some good value items they get too, and they know they're worth money, and they'll put the effort into eBay. But vintage electronics and say combo units like you picked up and everything else,
they don't want to test it. They don't want to do all the stuff.
Because if they keep turning up at the same place to sell it all the time, they sell it and it's dodgy. Then that person comes back the next week and say, "Hey, So,
well, that happens at the auctions I go to too. They'll buy the box, and they'll take the one item that they want out of it, and then leave the box. And at the end of the auction, they're like, "All right, it's a free for all. Take whatever you want."
Yeah.
And I've made more money on that.
Yeah, being a seagull, picking up the scraps. Yeah,
like the next auctions this weekend. Yeah. I'm gonna go at the beginning, bid on whatever I see, and then I'm gonna leave and go back. Yeah, and pick up all the scraps.
That's it. Yeah, that's the way to go. But even if you say the auctioneer, say, "Hey, look, all these guys that cherry pick the stuff and leave the other stuff behind. How about I just give you $10 for everything and you put it aside for me?" And you go, "Yeah, done."
Well, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff that's left.
You couldn't handle it.
I couldn't. Yeah, I would have to have a trailer. There was so much stuff. So I was going and I had half of my truck filled up from what I bought, and then I filled up the rest of it with just free stuff. I mean, it was ridiculous. There was like World War II magazines, airplane magazines, just hundreds of them stacked in a box that were just left there. And I was like, you know what? I carried it out to my car, went through it. I mean, 1940s.
Wow.
Some and
That's
I
super
love it.
vintage.
Yeah, I got very 200 this
Oh, sorry, you're breaking
like
up.
this many magazines, you know.
So
So
you broke up a bit then.
oh, I probably sold probably 20 magazines
Okay.
and made $250 already out of just the free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's definitely so that's gonna be my strategy going this weekend to it because they have one every month,
Yeah.
and so like I'll see that stuff and be like, all right, let me target that, and you know, because you can find some good stuff because those guys are just picking out the they're picking out the dumbest stuff. They want the old. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
They're probably a collector or something. Yeah.
yeah, they want the whole old crank meat grinder thing. I'm like, okay, you can have that, but then I remember the guy picked up the meat grinder out of it, and that's what he wanted. And then in the box were all these like vintage Sony Walkmans and all this stuff.
Oh, school.
So it's like I'm like, dude, that's what this is the stuff that's worth like so much more than that meat grinder.
Yeah.
Here, so
that comes back to your knowledge too, and then it depends what he does. Like, he just collects meat grinds, and this one is super rare. Could be worth $400 on eBay. He snatched it, and you've come along and scooped up, the gold left over because like Sony Walkman stuff and all those type of things. Even old brass doorknobs and stuff like that too. Good money,
And I volunteer at a thrift shop 1 day a week.
Okay, good on you.
It's my local thrift shop. I've pulled out so much stuff out of there. So it's a charity shop. They have a shelter, like a homeless shelter next to it, and it all goes to that. So it's not, but they get stuff in, and they get so much stuff in, and it's a small shop, so they're trying to move everything as fast as they can. They don't want anything in that shop to be there more than a week.
I mean, like, as long as you're fair. Like, I've got a few op shop managers that put stuff aside for me, but I'm always fair. Like, you go, 60? I'll say, I'll give you 70. How's that sound? Like the other day, he gave me a ton of stuff, and I think I listed just the video games alone. I think I listed for like $120. So,
see that now? That's the thing I have. This shop is this thrift shop is so cheap that I don't even tackle prices.
Yeah. But, yeah. And do you give them any insight on why you want it? Like,
they know what I do.
So do you educate them on why you want it and how much this sells for, or do you say, "Oh, this is worth good money," or do you allude to it, or do you actually tell them?
Sometimes, like there's sometimes I'll tell them straight out, and then sometimes like I don't want to.
You saw Burberry jackets pouring through the door, like you're gonna just rags, mate. I'll take them home and clean the car with them.
No, they think they know sometimes what things are worth. Like they're like, ooh, that's Nike, that's Under Armour, that's that's nice stuff. But they, let me show you this.
So mass produced, yeah.
Like this Polo Sport jacket right here.
Wow.
I got listed for $500.
Yeah.
I bought it for $5.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's awesome. It's like fully, it's great.
Yeah.
But like they don't know about that stuff. They don't
exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. We've got a fair few op shops here that work on volume, so the prices are low. Like there's one place that I go to, all their jeans are $4. Doesn't matter what it is. And I picked up 2 pairs of Baroni jeans made in Italy for $4, and they sell over here for about 110 Australian. And the difference between Aussie dollar and the US dollar is about 30%. So if I say 100, it's 70 US, just to put it in perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And stuff like that. So you can get some good deals. But then you got other thrift stores. There's one called Lifeline, and what they do is they support a telephone hotline. So if you feel like suicidal or you've got problems in your life, you can call them. You can straight onto a cancel. It's all free, right? and the government supports them with fees as well. Like they give them, chunks of money to help the system along, and they do a great job for people in need. And then what happens is, though, in their op shops, they'll have a pair of jeans for $20 that are just a no-brander. It's just a what do you call them? Mall brand clothes or whatever. And where every other op shop will have them for $4, and they'll sit and sit and sit, and then to the point where they have that much stock donated, they ended up just dumping it all.
Yeah,
because they're too lazy to knock it out for $5 or $4 and replace it. Then and then actually using the donations, which was given in good faith, and just taking it straight to the tip.
That's happening. That's happening to some of our
tip dump, same thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, like like Goodwill is a big, like, nationwide.
I know. Yeah, it's huge.
But they have gotten a lot of heat about, again, just throwing stuff away. I have a buddy of mine that lives about 30 minutes away from me, and he goes dumpster diving, and he finds just the best stuff in the dumpster that doesn't even make it into the store.
Yeah, it's just overflow. They can't deal with it.
Yeah, they can't deal with it, and they throw it away.
Their prices are too high on the floor. Now, I always thought, you think Goodwill and op shops and stuff, I know they're a money arm of the organization. They're not so much a charity per se. Like, they don't want people to come in who are homeless and pay $4 for a pair of jeans. They want to sell those jeans for $12 so that they can then buy them a bowl of soup and a loaf of bread or whatever. And then so all op shops are normally the money part of the arm and not the charity part. And the charity part works in a separate place as a norm. But there's a lot of people in these charity organizations, and what I call the layer of nothing. Okay, so you imagine a pyramid. So you got all the volunteers on the bottom, they do all the work. Then you got all this middle management in the middle, and then you got the top dog. Right? So all this middle man, they're the layer of nothing. They do nothing, they produce nothing, and all they do is keep interrupting the people along the bottom doing all the jobs for free, right? Making them jump through hoops and make them sign how much did you sell, how much have you put through, what all, and really give them all these tasks and stuff they have to achieve to reach goals and everything else, so then they can fill in their paperwork and pass it up the chain. So all the layer of nothing have got something to do. The only thing is, this layer of nothing sucks these company dry.
Yeah.
And all they do is interrupt all the people that are productive for meetings so they can justify their existence. And that's the problem with all businesses.
Yeah,
it should be just one flat line and one dot. That's it. And each of this flat line has a manager, and doesn't matter what happens in that line, that manager is solely responsible. So say if you're in a production line and one of the workers didn't screw a bolt on properly and it caused a problem in the next production part, that manager takes full responsibility. You don't just go, well, he did it. Point the finger, because you're getting paid the bucks. Yeah. You're the manager. The buck stops with you. It's your fault. Maybe you need a better manager, but they don't. So the manager keeps his job, and then it flows on through the worker, or the worker gets fired for it. And it's a shame that we've come to this stupidity that sits in the middle.
That's what's happening at Goodwill, and it's even worse because they do, and everyone can contest to this in the States. They do a job training program where they take people that are less fortunate or handicapped or disabled, and have them do, like, the jobs.
Yeah, but which is great, because that person that has a handicap, whether severe or how slight it may be, they feel like they've got a purpose sometimes, and it gives them great spirit. And look, they mightn't get paid like a normal person would sometimes. And we had a company called Endeavor. They were did a lot of with Down syndrome kids, because Down syndrome is different spectrum of it, and some kids are really good and some are just sad to see. And but they were giving them menial jobs, just like sorting a T-shirt from a jean into a different bin, and that's all they were doing. Then the unions came in. Oh, well, they're doing work. You've got to pay them the full adult wage. Instead of $10 an hour, they've got to be up to $22 an hour. That's it. And so they had to shut it all down.
Yeah. Well, the top people in Goodwill are making all the money. So that's why I really don't support them. You know what I'm saying? I'll go shop there, but like I won't donate my time or anything like that. That's why that's why like you were talking about that single line that manager is in charge of everything. That's how the mission is. Whatever money's there, it goes. It pays her, and then the rest goes to the mission. You know, it helps them out.
Yeah,
so
that's the way it should be. But you have all these layers of nothing, but they're in every company. Every company you see, they're built like a bureaucracy in government. You know, where you just have all these layers of nothing that do nothing, but they're all there sucking money out of the taxpayers' coffers. You know. Anyway, it's a bit political, so we won't go down that road.
that's why I started. That's why I'm full time now. You know, I hated working for someone else. I couldn't stand it. You know, so I'm my own boss, and that's how I love it. I love it's one of the greatest decisions I've ever made as an adult.
It's good in one way, but it's like all things. The harder you work, you kind of get more fruits from the labor. Like this eBay update that came out on the 15th of October, whatever it was, where it basically destroyed a lot of good reseller stores, and I was one of them. I got absolutely pounded into the ground, and I think, why me? You know, and then you see all these other people on YouTube. Oh no, it's no problem. We're all right. And see, in Australia, we're kind of used to it. Like eBay launches it there and then, no warning, bang. We wake up the next morning, it's changed, and then they guinea pig us, and then they work all the bugs out. Then they introduce it to America. In 40 days, we're going to change this, and this is going to be the change. You know, you guys get a heads up. Like, you know, there's 30 days. Like, you know, get rid of 10 days and 5 days and 7 days and whatever else listings. We're all swimming to 30 days or good to cancel, right? Good to cancel. Bang. Next day. That was it. All listings. No warning, nothing. And here's the UK and Europe and then the US all getting this 30 days time. We will be doing this, you know. It's horrid. And then now this release that came out on the 15th, everyone got it. So everyone suffered the pain we've been suffering for the last 10 years.
What was the release? What was the release?
They basically, the Item Pacifics, you know how they had to have all these new Item Pacifics on clothing, and then some people, and basically, and from what I can see, it seems to be a port to another server.
Yeah.
So they're changing their hardware from old servers to new servers, or it's a port to a new search engine, because half my listing, well, probably 90% of my listings, when they ported to the new server, were all stuffed up. Like all my store categories were set to other. Right?
Oh, wow.
I had video games set in video game parts or something, like fans and laser heads and all this other thing. I've had photos disappearing. I've had it just goes on. They unsubscribe me from Seller Manager Pro. You know, when you get a store, you automatically get Seller Manager Pro. But and when they moved both my stores across, both of them got unsubscribed to Seller Manager Pro, and it looked like what they'd done is they had the store, like in Australia, we pay, I think, $57 for 1,600 fixed listings, right, per month, and then the way it looked, it was the $57, and then they wanted another $10 for the Seller Manager Pro on top.
Oh man!
So all my automation stopped working. So basically, all my automatic returns and all that stuff, automatic feedback stopped working. I got these people, well, I've left you feedback. Why come you left me feedback? Like this?
Oh man!
Nightmare. But I had a list of all these problems I had. Anyway, I was crying, and my sales dropped like so bad. Like I mean, I'm not a big seller by any means, but it just gets by. I was doing about 1,400 to 2,000 a week, roughly, in turnover. I mean, obviously, cost of goods, freight, eBay fees, all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an income. You know, it beats working for the man, as they say. And I went right down to probably $500 a week.
Yeah.
I went for that for 3 weeks, and everyone's saying, "I'll do this, do this, do this, do this, do this." So I was getting up at like 4:30 in the morning, and the only thing that helped me get it all back on track was to end the listings that were ending that day.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And sell similar, but one at a time, and make sure all the Item Pacifics change in. play around with the description a bit, move a photo here or there. But that's so painstaking.
Yeah.
When you got 1,700 items, I'm still doing it today. So then my 6-hour days turned into a 12-hour day, and it's killing me. I just don't like working this hard. So for what I used to work. So but this week's been just absolute great. Like one store shows 143% increase on last month. But that's not hard. That's not hard on what they did to me.
Yeah,
but
the same thing happened to me.
Sorry?
The same thing happened to me. Yeah.
And then,
they changed the item specifics on all the clothing.
Yeah.
So your sizes just went poof, gone.
Yeah, I got a message. I actually got a phone call from eBay Sydney. So it wasn't from the Philippines, and it was actually an Australian working in eBay. And this was prior to the release of this update, about a month before. And they said, look, we see you listed a lot of video games. We've got a new criteria that you've got to fill in, and it's just the game name. And I said, oh, okay. So then she says, what can I do? I'll email you like a spreadsheet of all your listings.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to go through this column here and put all the game names in. Now, the game name is in the description, but then you've got free post or very good condition. Yeah. Nintendo, GameCube, or whatever stuck on the end of it. So, so then I got my lovely wife because I hate tedious things over and over again.
Oh yeah,
agitated. Yeah, but she's like an admin person, so she loves it. Well, she doesn't love it, but she's really good at it. So she sat through, and all I did is cut the game or description, not the description, the title. And pasted that in. Then she went through and edited it all for me, took out. So I just want the game name. Anything you're not sure of, she just put a question mark. So I just went back through and did the question marks. Sent it back to it, and they updated all my names. Mm-hmm. Then a month later, when this new update came out, all the names got pulled in. So I had all my video games don't have game names now. Yeah. So I had to put all the names back in again. And that's what I'm saying. It seems to be a port to another system, like a whole new leg of servers, or it's a new search engine that they're introducing over the old one, hence all the new criterias too. So
yeah, I think it's both because there's definitely a bunch of the new server talk, and I've seen it, the new stuff you're listing is popping.
Yeah.
And your old stuff.
Yeah.
If you end it, like you said, and then sell similar.
Yeah. Then, one by one. Don't do a bulk.
Yeah. You do one by one. That stuff starts selling now. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's sat there for 6 months without any views, and now it's sold in 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
even stuff I've had for 3 years is sold. It's just like, wow. It's just amazing. But yeah, and still my wife goes through and pulls up XYZ listing and adjusts everything, fills in all the fields and goes from there. But yeah, when you have a men's shirt and they want to know if it's for pregnancy. I mean, come on. It's just a bit over the top, some of the criteria they do have. But,
some of the clothing stuff, I'm like, 80% of the stuff I'm not going to put in.
I listed a set of headphones, and I know California is the nanny state in the US where they have laws for everything. There was one guy I was watching, and he said, now they've got a law in California where half the board has to be women, regardless of their credentials, if they're any good or they're really good or not, right? They've got to be women. So it's because of their gender, not because they're good at what they do. So then they made a law in California. So at least half the board of every single company in California has to have half women, right? Which was, equal opportunity employment and stuff like that, and in time that'll normalize out. Mm-hmm. Then they bring another law that all men can identify as women with no causal show. So now the men who are already on the board say, "Oh, I'm a woman." That's it. Yeah. So it's the paradox of bureaucracy going wrong.
Right.
You always have a chuckle, but we have the same laws. We have the same stupidity. We've got a local government that's running around wanting to ban straws and plastic plates. Because it's bad for the environment, opposed to locking up, decent criminals that done bad things to the rest of society. They just got the foot on the wrong shoe. But anyway,
it's the same in the States. It's the same over here.
Yeah.
It's
they'll justify their existence by making these stupid laws.
Yeah, there's so many different things. It's like, oh man, now we got to do this, or,
Yeah, that's it.
you know. But no, I totally. Ugh. But no, yeah, I had to go in. All of our clothing was like all messed up. So I had I had over 800 pieces of clothing listed.
No, about 500.
All right, here we go. Here's the size. Even now, if you went all the way to the bottom, it had your old item specifics, but they weren't registering in the top.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, but like your spreadsheet, I have a friend that he has 18,000 listings of clothing, but they let him do the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And since I don't know what the cutoff was, but there was a cutoff. If you had this many listings that were clothing, they would do the spreadsheet for you. But I didn't.
I seriously believe that eBay have no programmers at eBay. I believe they outsource all their programming, whether it's IBM or someone like that does their programming for them. Because, like, a classic example is, I've probably repeated this many times on other channels, but they bought TerraPeaks.
Mm-hmm.
And what's TerraPeaks do? It searches data from eBay.
Yeah.
Why would you buy another company that, searches your data?
Exactly.
It's so therefore they must have no programmers and everything must be outsourced, and that's why that's so clunky. All this transition, and as they said, they're trying to tack on to a 15-year-old system all these new systems, and they're not integrating. An excuse. Sorry. I mean, Google doesn't really have a big problem apart from when they got rid of Hangouts. So I think. I think we just need someone to step up, like say Samsung or Microsoft, to come out with a new selling platform and just use ads as a revenue maker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that eBay will just go away.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because it's held by Band-Aids. It's just like they say they make one change and 20 problems show up.
Yeah, it's like an earthquake. It just shatters everything along the way,
Mm-hmm.
But that's an excuse. Well, okay, doesn't that say something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that say something, A, about your programmers, B, that you've had no insight, you have no foresight, you have no 20 road, 21 road, you got no road for the next 4 years. You just, whatever comes along, you'll do that. You know what I mean? Like you can't run a company like that. You got to have a plan for the future, where you want it to go, And see, that's another thing, like Australia being a testing ground. Now, I don't know if you know much about our Amazon. Our Amazon in Australia, you can only sell new stock. You are basically gated in everything but video games.
Oh, wow.
Australia, we only have about 25 million people, but we're about the same size as the US, say minus Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got the same kind of landmass, but very little population.
Yeah.
So therefore, there's vast distances between communities. So when you look at that, Amazon's come to us and they've set up there's a lot of people live on the east coast of Australia, and then as you kind of head west, it gets drier and drier as you go along. So they set up camp in Melbourne. There's like Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane there. They've got the big east coast towns. And but they're only got mostly corporations on site and some big brick and mortar stores. Okay, that's who sell on Amazon in Australia, and they will not let us sell secondhand. And I've seen, I've been doing this for a fair while, and I've been watching a lot of people, and you can see Amazon slowly gating people out. Now I don't think you can sell Nintendo Mario games now on Amazon, but you can sell the other ones. So they're just slowly slicing it out one by one. But I mean, where can you get Smash Bros on the 64 anymore? You can't. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. So they're really cutting. They're on the vintage stuff. They're cutting their face off. On the brand new stuff, I can understand because, and that they go to, it's pirated in China. That's why we've blocked it. Yeah, bananas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You have got that manufacturer or the wholesaler in your pocket, and now he wants to sell on Amazon and use all your lovely, Prime accounts, and that's all it is.
That
and
that's
they
all
play
it is.
China. Oh, it's copied in China. It's copied in China. Like, so then Nike. I heard Nike's pulled out of Amazon. Is that correct?
Yeah, Nike pulled out of Amazon.
Yeah. So I mean, so they saw the writing on the wall. They're not going to make that guy too much richer, you know.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they were like, well, why do we have to sell on this platform
Yeah,
when we can sell on our own platform? You know,
exactly. Yeah.
and they're really targeting like the youth through their apps and different things.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're like, well, we don't need, you know, if someone wants Nike shoes, we don't need Amazon.
But I guarantee you the roadmap for Amazon will be all end user sellers out, and only wholesalers and corporations can sell on Amazon.
Yeah,
because I think you sell, I don't know, a used, DVD from Sony, say for $10. Someone gets it, complains that it skipped or it had a thumbprint on the disc. They return it. You get a negative feedback. Amazon gets a return. Yeah, they think it's hurting their business. Where Sony supplies the same one that's sealed, right?
Yep.
Chance of anything going wrong are nil and none.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't want you. They only want brand new in the box stuff, and that's where your retail arbitrage will come in. But then, or you'll have Walmart. I know Walmart and Amazon, play off against each other a fair bit, and they're big competitors. But it's just a matter of time before they'll join hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they'll shut the door. And
I've seen like stuff.
All right.
I was showing this. Now last year, so we have this brand called Rubbermaid. Have you ever heard of that?
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they make like trash cans and like mops and brooms and stuff like that. Well, we have a factory that's like 30 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
So all their excess stuff
Yeah.
is like they just give it to the Goodwills and charity shops.
Yep. Fair enough.
And so what I was doing, I was buying the stuff up, going and then shipping it to Amazon and selling it on Amazon. Like,
Good deal.
it was a great deal. Like these, like the thing I just showed you.
Yeah.
These go for $16.99 on Amazon.
Nice.
I bought these for $2.
Yeah. And you send boxes in.
Yeah, send boxes in. Well, all of a sudden, I'm gated.
Yeah.
I've sold thousands and thousands of dollars of this stuff on Amazon. Kept sending it in, and then all of a sudden,
who sells it now on Amazon? Amazon or
it's Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah. And that's all they're doing. And then like you can see it. Like obviously they started in books, so everyone was sending all these books into Amazon, so the physical copies, because they started electronics. So everyone, did all the legwork, went to all these book sales and garage sales and everything, scooped up all these books and prepared them, and put them in bags and barcoded them and put them in boxes, sent them off to UPS. Away they went to Amazon. Amazon merrily put them on their shelf, and then Amazon goes, "Oh, we can sell laptops. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we can sell this and we can sell," and all of a sudden they start selling everything, and they go, "Oh, hang on, we can't. There's too many books in here."
Yeah.
Let's charge storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and I guarantee you that all the people that rely on Amazon now, I think in 10 years' time, Amazon won't let you sell it all.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see.
Which is great for an eBay style store to open up or style. But I think eBay in 10 years will be gone.
Well, I mean, you have a lot of these smaller companies coming out. Like
our population, because we're only 25 million, I think 1 million of them are transients. In other words, like the university students from around the world, Asia or whatever, or holiday makers or people on working visas. So there's technically only 24 million. And then you got to think of the age breakdowns too. The people that actually work is only about 8 million of that, because you got all the retirees, the rest are kids or students. So, you've only got people with disposable income about 8 million. So, you can see how it gets narrowed right down. But platforms try to open up here, they become very unsuccessful very quickly.
Yeah.
Because of the vast distances as well. So we use obviously Facebook Marketplace. I think I've had no luck with it. It's disgusting. I think I've got some too big, like synthesizer type keyboards on there at the moment. And, would you take 400? Yeah, I'll take 400. when was I to come pick it up? Oh, I live in a caravan. You know, and I'm like, that's not my problem, mate.
Yeah.
You can't get here, I don't care. You know, just next. And then I get another message. Oh, hello. I'm really interested in this other one. I had it up for $240. Would you take $200? You said, yeah, I'll take $200. No worries. When would you like to come to collect? Well, I don't have a license. I don't have a car. I'd have to rely on my daughter, and she lives like 40, 50 minutes away from my house. Just sitting there going, oh, God, I hate Marketplace. And then we've got another one called Gumtree. Now, Gumtree was really big in Europe and Australia, and it was becoming like Craigslist, right? Because Craigslist, when it came out, it annihilated eBay sales. Like, yeah, it really did. It really hurt them bad. So eBay got onto it, and they bought Gumtree. So they own Gumtree now. So it's a huge thing, but it's lowball city. You put something up for $200, it's worth $300, and they'll offer you $30. You know, it's just shocking. You know, and then, but yeah, it's what you do. So now we've had Depop. It's starting to get a little bit of hold amongst the youngins. A bit of an oldie, and but with limited success in some. I know Brad, who was on Tracy's channel before, he's done a few Depop stuff too. A lot of it is you wear the clothes yourself and take your photos. So I think you have to have that 21-year-old gym body, you know, to model these things. Well, I lost mine years ago. So
yeah,
I got married.
The hard thing with Depop for me, well, I mean, it's not hard. I do. Now, I'm still kind of old school compared to a lot of people. Like, everyone lists on their phones. I can't list on my phone to save my life.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
I don't know how people list on their phones.
No, so, PC all the way, mate.
Yeah, so, I have tabs opened up, and I'll just
that's it. Like, I got three. Like, I can see here, like, I got YouTube on that one. I got you on that one, and then I got
yeah. And so I'll just bounce. I'll list on eBay. I'll do Mercari and another site, and I'll do on Grailed, which is another site, and I'll just list it. Boom, boom, boom. But Depop is only on your phone.
Yeah,
it's only an app on your phone, so you have to, you know, I have everything set up for my computer. Like, the pictures I take go to my computer.
Yeah,
I edit them on my computer, and then I can just paste them, you know, put them into the thing. But Depop makes you. Then I have to put them back on my phone.
Yeah,
and then copy and paste on the phone, and I hate it. So
I mean, a couple here have tried Etsy, and I think it does link into the US one, but it's super clunky, and the freight to the US is so expensive for us. You know, like, I think it's for me to send a kilo. I don't know what that is in pounds. I think it's 2.2 pounds. Or something.
2.2 pounds. Yeah.
For a kilo, I think it's like $38 Australian tracked, no signature. So, you know, and then so therefore you guys are going to cough up about another $29 in postage. So it's cheaper to buy it in your own place, you know what I mean? Because where we are, we're kind of a westernized country, and then all above us is Asia, and then you go across to India, over to the Middle East, and then the other side is nothing but ocean. Then you hit Hawaii, then there's nothing but in America. That's it. Yeah. So, I mean, we do have our cousins just down the bottom, New Zealand, so that's not too bad. But it's the freight's the killer. That's the trouble with shipping and international shipping. But look, if you got something fairly unique, like I got these Sony surveillance cameras from an auction, and I sold them to a guy in the US. Made some good money too, but he was happy to pay because they didn't make them anymore, and they were 200 zoom with 200 feet night vision and clarity that you could see on a duck at 400 yards or something. I don't know. So,
I remember buying. I was a really big Adidas person. Like, I bought a lot of Adidas shoes.
In Australia, we say Adidas.
Adidas, yeah. I don't know. But I bought but there were some times that they would only have it in Australia.
Yeah.
Like a release that was only released in Australia.
Yeah.
So it would be an extra $30-40 just to get it from Australia. And we're like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. And see, we don't have global shipping program either.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got nothing. We just us or no one. That's it. Yeah, there's no one helping us. We do have Fulfilled by eBay, like you guys were getting or going to get soon, similar to the Amazon one, where you send all your stock in, they house it and ship it out for you.
Yeah.
You pay a premium fee on top of it. The only thing is, like, see, most of my look, if I bought boxes and boxes of the same thing, like RA, I could understand doing it that way.
Yeah.
You know, I could send in, you know, a pallet load of, you know, as you say, mops or whatever, and they just sell them, and I get $5 each one, and they take their massive fees or whatever. I'd be happy with that. But, you know, when I'm just buying one-offs and selling one-offs, and, you know, there might be a brass duck or a VHS combo or something like that. I want to pack it. I want to customize it because I want it right for the customer, and I want to put my note in, you know, and I want to get it how I would want to get it.
Exactly.
I'm not some 17-year-old kid that gets paid, you know, $14 an hour, just throw it in a box with a sheet of bubble wrap over it and then stick the tape gun on it and bang, out the door it goes. And then the customer then A gets a broken item, B gets, I know it's all covered by them and I don't have to pay anything, but then that person might leave eBay.
Yeah.
And then that affects all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So my thought was that I didn't want to trust anyone else with my money. Why would I give a stranger my wallet? Because that's technically what I was doing. And I know it'd be great to send all my stuff in and empty my double garage of listed stuff. You know, I'd love to do that, but I'm too, like, not a control freak. I just like it in my possession or my control. So.
I think are they doing it where have they started that?
Yeah. It's been going for a while now, about a year, I think. Yeah.
Now, can you only send in new stuff, or can you?
No, you can send anything you've got listed on eBay.
Okay.
The only thing is they have a cheaper freight format too. So you pay a little bit cheaper freight, but you have to freight it to them.
Yeah.
So you could use courier companies opposed to the postal system, which is quite expensive. So you could use, like, we got like TNT, Fastways, and all that, where you can send pallets of stuff. You know, will go down on a truck. You know, so there would be ways around it, but to me, it doesn't. It just didn't fit my model. Like, if I was going to auction houses, or I was getting boxes on boxes of exactly the same stuff, and I was getting 2,000 of them. Yeah, like, you have them. You know, good luck. You know, and then I could run the sales from here remotely, and they just have to pack them and ship them, and I wouldn't have to worry about any of that, which would be fantastic. But
yeah,
just didn't sit with me. So
I don't see myself doing that. You know, like.
But I mean, look, it as for an RA type format, like, yeah, you go into like I know the Bearded Picker, he does a lot of RA.
Yeah,
I know, but he also sells courses, and normally eBay people that sell courses are, you know, they're in it for more than what it's worth. But I mean, the entertainment value, that's it, and yeah, some of the road trips he goes on, which he generally does, like I can't see him making it all up, where he travels, you know, 16, 17 hours and stays in hotels and prints out dockets to send into Amazon, and you'll go and fish out one hardware store for one item. You'll go to all the chains and just clear them all out.
Yeah.
Send it all on Amazon, like he did the was that Monopoly board game or something? You know,
Monopoly from Millennial Monopoly.
Yeah, Millennials, that's right. Yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, and maybe, you know, Fulfilled by eBay, something like that, where if you got a lot of it, and you could use it like Amazon, you just send it in. You're done.
Yeah, be done with it.
I think that's what they're trying to aim for, is to pinch the business off Amazon and put it back on eBay.
Yeah, I think that's what they're looking at in the States, because I've heard.
Yeah, get, once again, we're the guinea pigs. We've had it for about a year. They've ironed all the bugs out. Now they'll just reproduce it over your way.
Yeah, because I've heard that they're not going to take any used stuff for their warehouse.
Oh, they only wanted new, yeah. So that's probably what they worked out by doing it over here.
Yeah, it's going to be all it's going to be all RA stuff. It's all going to be it's going to be like, you know, you're brand new in packages, and
but like how you're gated on those mops.
Mm-hmm.
eBay won't get you. They want the money.
Yeah,
you know. So that could be a good option for you.
Yeah, that could be. You know, that would be a good option. But like my 10,000 pounds of clothing downstairs, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
You got that much. You're a big clothes lister, not.
Yeah.
I wish there was an easy way. I was even thinking of. I was wondering if you get like a lay flat system where you could get a laser that could automatically measure the clothes for you and then put it into a database so you didn't have to measure the bloody thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the technology's out there because they've got lasers that can, tell distances and everything, and they've got computer. So, yeah, it'd be something for a reseller. If you could make one for under $400, every reseller would buy one. It'd be amazing.
Or like, I was even thinking for like clothing, like a big scanner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it tells you that. Yeah, it'd be nice if it tells you the type of material too.
You just lay like my fantasy is like you lay down the shirt and then you just close it and it takes a picture of the front, takes a picture of the back, and measures it for you, and you're done.
Yeah, that's it.
And you don't have to edit it because I edit all my pictures. I mean, the one I showed, the one I showed you, like right here.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
Right. All my stuff is on white backgrounds, and it's decent looking. Like, I take the pictures of these. This is a picture of the shoes I took.
Yeah. Great photo.
Yeah, but it's just it's time consuming to do that.
Lamborghini. Are they by Adidas?
This is Mizuno.
Oh, Mizuno.
Yeah, they did a collab with Lamborghini. I found these at a discount shop for $29.99.
Nice.
So, and these are selling for like $300. So I put them at $279 just to see if I can get some bites. But we'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're real close to it, and don't forget, like with shoes too, there might be 10 listed, but if they're not the same size, you're it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
yeah,
you got the market, you cornered it. That's what you want.
That's with those shoes. I think they're like 10 and a halves. I have the only pair.
So are you like a set and forget guy where you'll set it and then that's it, or you're a micromanager and in 30 days it didn't sell? Oh, I'll change the photo, drop the price, and that.
No, I now it may be an old school theory, but I go with a theory like if it doesn't sell right away, it means the buyer hasn't seen it yet.
Exactly.
And so I've got enough stuff that I can list every single day and just keep building it, keep replenishing it. And I'm about that point where I'm at, like, because I just do it all by myself. I'm about at a point like where I got like about around 1,500 listings. Yeah. And I can kind of keep up with that. Like anytime I get above like 1,500 listings, I sell a bunch of stuff. So it like brings me down. So I'm like, I'm still like, I'm slowly pushing it. Like from 500 to 1,000 listings was easy. Yeah. And then like, it was a little bit harder to go from like, 1,000 to 1,500. But I'm finding it really, really hard to have time to pack, ship, and list to get to that maybe 2,000 mark or 3,000 mark.
And for your medium store over there, what's the free listing limit?
For the
like your medium store, what do you pay? $50-something?
Yeah, I paid $59 or like $60 a month.
And how many listings do you get?
1,500.
Yeah, I think we get 1,600, but we get no auctions. Auctions are $3 each.
Oh wow!
Oh no, ouch! So you want to clear old rubbish? You can't. You got to run sales or promote the crapper out of it. Yeah,
they let it. I rarely do auctions. Only when I'm trying to clear out some stuff. But it's built into the. I forget how many it is. Maybe someone can help me out, like from the States in the chat, if they're still up.
Probably not.
But I'll do auctions every once in a while, but I don't get charged for auctions. But once I hit that 1,500, because I let them just like after the 30 days they just re-up.
Yep.
So I mean that counts as a technical listing.
Yeah, it is.
After that, I'll pay like 10 cents a listing. Yeah. So usually around the 20th of the month, that's when I start hitting that 10 cents. In
Australia, I kind of advise everyone when you get about to 11 or 1,200 mark, open another store.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Because what happens is you'll have a lot of people that want the stuff you're listing, and then after that, you get the right buyer hasn't seen it yet, as you say,
Yeah.
listed, and then you've got all this stuff that's worth good money, but it hasn't sold because that buyer hasn't come yet, or they don't even realize they need it yet.
Yeah.
So when they do, you're it, And look, I've noticed it with a lot of, because I set and forget, let it percolate away, and then hopefully it sells. You'll see everyone else, they'll find the same thing and they'll list like $3 or $4 under you.
Yeah.
And then they'll get rid of theirs, and then you're back on top again. But that's okay. I'm happy for those people to come and go, because I think in time that, as you said, you got to wait for that right person. So, and I think once you get past that 1100, you can end up with a lot of stuff that, it might be worth something, but obviously no one wants it.
Yeah.
You can end up what I call like an avalanche. So it's building up in snow, and eventually it's going to fall on you, and then what are you going to do? So the idea is trying to run sales on the older stuff, and now with eBay you can sort by when it was physically listed.
Yeah.
So that way then you can just kind of snag the first 25, move to a 50% mark off just to get them out the door. And
that's what I've been doing.
Turn it back into a liquid so you can go to the auctions.
Yeah, right. That's the problem. Like with me, like I don't have a problem sourcing because I get my stuff and I get it so cheap.
Yeah,
people in California or Florida, they're paying 5-6 times what I'm paying for my stuff.
And scaling your business, like you said, you had, was it 10,000 pounds of clothing downstairs?
Yeah.
How accurate is that?
I mean, I've got
okay. So in other words, if you did nothing but list, how many months would it take to have it all listed?
Probably 3-4 months.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I had my wife's laughing. I'm about the same.
I have people come down, I have friends, or people on Instagram that live around me that hey, I've heard you have stuff for sale.
Come and pick it.
Yeah, I have stuff for sale. You want to come by the house and look? And I have this group of kids come by. They knew a friend of mine, and they were like, "Hey, we know Jeremy." I'm like, "All right, cool, come by." Yeah. And they came by, and we went downstairs, and they were like, "Holy fuck!"
We don't invite people over now. It's like a haunted house. Nah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, they just they're like on their Instagram, they're like, "Oh my, look where we're at. This is crazy." Yeah. And
they reckon if you give humans more than 7 choices, it's too confusing and they can't make a choice. Yeah. So when they looked at all, they'd be like, huh.
Yeah, and it was so funny because he was like, "Well, do you have concert T-shirts?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're in that stack right there."
Oh, you even know where your stuff is? I don't.
Yeah, the guy was just going through. He's like, "Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!" And everything, it was overload. It was overload for them, just being down there, in the basement.
And would you ever consider hiring someone to part-time list, like someone you could train up, or would that be a fear of someone learning your business and just duplicating
it? You know what I really need? I would really need someone just to come in and help me organize.
Right.
Okay? And just be like, "All right, this bag of clothes that I got, hang this up, bag it up." Just the little the menial work,
Yeah.
I would have
the micromanager type thing.
Yeah, hey, you're gonna do the shipments. You're gonna do an hour worth of shipments. I would love to have someone 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
That first hour, all right, here, organize. I want you to organize this, and then once you're done, I want you to bag this up, and then once you're done, I want you to ship it.
And how are your labor laws over there as far as getting someone in for 4 hours, and how much would you have to pay them?
I mean, I'd pay them probably like $10 an hour. You know,
And you could get away with that legally?
oh yeah, oh
Sorry. So yeah, in Australia, I think minimum wage is like $22 or $18 or something. That's it. It's crazy. Then you got to pay like another, I think it's 14% superannuation, which is like your 401k.
yeah,
And you have to pay workers' insurance premium with the state government. And you also have to give them 4 weeks off a year paid holiday with 17% loading.
oh
And there's all the public holidays on top of that.
yeah.
Now, you can hire them as a contractor,
Mm-hmm.
but they have to have their own business number with the tax office. But they can only do the job for 3 months. Otherwise, they're classed as an employee. Then you have to employ them and go through all the ropes. So it's a lot trickier. I'm just waiting to my children to grow up or something and enslave them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's kind of the scary part. Like, I'm set up as the LLC and all that stuff, but it's just like, yeah, like, oh
Yeah.
man, I had because at the thrift shop that I work at, they're like, oh, take this guy, let this guy come and do some work, and you could just pay him cash. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I could do that, but it's like, if someone found
trips
out.
over and hurts himself, and then you're on all sorts of bollocks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's the same problem I've got. I was just thinking that there's any way to get someone in and get someone out. I think it's just because if you could get someone listing full time and take up your listing role,
Mhm.
I could source more.
Yeah.
And that would be the ultimate job. You know what I mean? So,
Or if I could just find someone that took the pictures the way I take them.
you like them, yeah.
I've tried like 3 different people to do pictures,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of a control freak. If you saw like the pictures of the shoes,
Yeah.
I'm a control freak, and like I've had them. I gave him 50 shirts to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a high school kid, and I knew his mom. But I was like, "Here's 50 shirts. Take pictures, front, back, tag, and measure it."
But I mean, I even like stay-at-home mums that got kids, even where the kids go to daycare. Even if I got them in for 4 hours, because normally people over 25 have got more savvy or more brains.
Mhm.
I think their brains fully developed, so they're kind of conscious of what working means. It's just not something so you can get drunk every night. So I was that until I reached 26. So so I'm thinking, like I'd like to give the opportunity for a single mum just to work her own hours, come in, come as go as she please, and basically I know what the expectations are. She lists X amount per hour, and I'd be stoked with that. You know what I mean? And then it helps her out because she gets cash for her family. Or she might even be a single mum opposed to just living on welfare.
Yeah.
But once again, all the labor laws come in and they just kill it. Yeah, they just absolutely kill it.
I know there's people that do that over here. So it's like, I don't know. Right now, I'm at that right on that edge to
Precipice of, do you pull the trigger or you just keep flogging yourself? Yeah.
That's the thing right now.
Pardon the term.
Yeah, like it's just like I'm just kind of like I could hire someone, but I'd have to pay them then, and then like that would be extra money out. But I just haven't worked it all out to where I was just said, forget it. I'm just gonna keep pounding away, as long as I can do it, And I've found it redeeming, Where like I said, I had other people taking pictures for me. I just didn't like them. Like there was 50 shirts that the dude took pictures of, and I said.
But sometimes you gotta, as they say in Frozen, let it go, because you really gotta step up and manage it, not be it. If that makes sense, what I mean? Like,
no, I totally understand. Yeah.
But I mean, there should be a certain quality or expectation that the person should also meet, like a benchmark.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm not ready to release it just yet.
I understand. Yeah, and it's hard when it's your baby and you put so much time into it and effort, and then you kind of live and breathe it after a while. So where your family goes, Dad, shut up. Oh, they've had to go to another option. It's on the way.
But especially with all the glitches that happened, in the last couple of months.
Sorry, what?
With all the glitches that happened the last few months, like if I hired someone.
Yeah, I know.
It would have been a total cluster, Like
that's where that part time where you could offer them, 4 hours a week. and then looks, I can't guarantee the 4 hours, but if you're more than welcome to it. And even if you do it after hours, after you finish your stuff, come over at 7 till 10 or whatever, or whatever, whatever suits. And I'll list, and you can take photos, and then any questions you can ask me. If you ask the same question more than 3 times, I'll growl at you. There's a stupid question. Just keep saying there's no such thing as a stupid question, because a lot of people think, I won't ask that because that might be a stupid question. Then I'll feel stupid, and then I'll just do what I think is right.
Yeah.
And then I get it all wrong. And when you ask, so yeah, it's kind of nurturing them and kind of mentoring them into the position you want. And you see Raleigh Roots, like they got an old school friend, that what's her name, Carly or whatever. She's on there, and she works really hard for them. But she's an excellent job, and they got 100% faith in her as well. So and then he's got his brother there too, and brother falls in line and works really hard to make his brother and very profitable, and in doing so building himself a future as well. He knows the business, he's learning, and to duplicate what they got was relatively easy, finding other wholesalers. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, shopping, it's neither here nor there. It's the wholesale part which makes them a fair bit of money in the Amazon account. So,
but see, like it's me finding that person I can just like really put all my trust in. Yeah. You know, because I've had people. Where's my breakfast? I need breakfast. But
coffee and a biggie. Yeah.
I had people that, because I worked in the restaurant industry forever, so I know a lot of people around this area. Yeah. And I've reached out to people. Hey, you want to make some extra money? Yeah. Come talk to me. Like come help me out. Come, I'll pay you cash. Yeah. And but there's people that just don't want to do it.
No.
And it's just like
they're content. Yeah.
They're content with just. I mean, I had a buddy of a buddy. He lost his job, and he had just moved across the country, out here, and he was like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" And I said, "Look, bro, you can come and live at my house. I'll set you up in the basement. You can live down there, or stay down there. Help me out. I'll give you some I'll pay you. Yeah. You'll have a place to live. I'll buy food. You can eat here. Here. It was just like basically like a work trade.
Setting up. Yeah.
He laughed in my face. So it's like, what do you do?
What can you do?
Yeah. So I tried a lot, but it just nothing has happened yet. I would love to get someone to help, but I'm just kind of content right now, where it's like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing right now.
But I mean, even the retirement village now, I'm not taking advantage of old people before all the lefties get on here and wave their flags and whatnot. But you got retirement people, you got people who work their whole life. Now they're stuck in this 2-bedroom unit with the neighbors next door, and they're just wasting. They've got so much knowledge, so much wisdom. They know how to talk to people. They know how to do things. They can pick up great skills. They already have great skills. You know what I mean? And they just got to unlock them. Like, they could be ex-photographers for all we know.
Yeah.
And even to say, hey, look, that's always, if I won lotto or won a lot of money, I'd like to start up like a business where everyone brought their old bikes, right? And I just bust in all the pensioners, all the guys, we all had a sausage sizzle and a beer, right? And then we fixed all these old bikes up. We put them in containers and we shipped them off to, countries that are quite poor, that don't have motor vehicles, so the farmers can get around on their push bikes or something, where kids get to school on them or something, something like that. Obviously, it'd have to be a fairly flat country, not too like France or anything. And something like that, because all these people, you hear these stories. Oh yeah, he worked at this company for 65 years. He got to the top. He retired 2 years later. He's dead.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing. And what they've started up in Australia, they call men sheds, right? And they're all about mainly guys, and normally to hands-on, so whether it be cars or woodwork or a trade of some type, and like the 60, 70, 80, 90, and they all go there, you know, and what they do is they have certain tools there, they make things, they talk about things, and it's just like a great mate's room, you know, where they all hang out. And but my dad, my dad used to drive bulldozers and clear land and whatnot, and he used to get his bulldozer stuck in really stupid positions, and he was it. You know, hose blew, you didn't call Enzo or whatever to come out and change your hose. You did have to do it yourself. I was like, you know, backyard mechanics. It was just what you had to do. And but he was over the beach, and they were using this. I think it was an excavator or a bulldozer or something to move all this sand out, so they could open up one of these. It's kind of like a creek that backed up or something. They want to open up to the ocean, and but they got the bulldozer bogged, and Dad's sitting there because he went for a walk. He walks past them. He goes, "Yeah, I could have told them how to get them out, but they'll work it out." He just goes, "Yeah." It's just like, but they got so much knowledge, and it's like they're thrown on the scrap heap, and it's a shame because it's almost like burning, you know, history books. It's a bit. It'd be nice if there was something in our labour market where we could say pensioners, you know, that want to work and help business. See, because if they help my business, it helps the government in the end. You know what I mean? Because they get more sales tax and they get more income tax and so on and so forth. But the trouble is, it's all the red tape that all the unions have put in place about hiring people, which you got to have, because otherwise we end up like you've got, where, see, in Australia, you can't just say you're fired.
Yeah.
You have a written warning, then you have another written warning, and then you got to go to a tribunal, then you get fired.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are so gun shy on hiring people, everyone's casual. So you can have 40 hours a week, which is a full-time position, be casual. That way, then, if there's any problem with you, they can just cut your hours back to half an hour a day.
Yeah.
And you're not going to stay because it's hardly worth your time driving in there for half an hour's work. You know, so,
that's why I tell everyone like what I do, and I'm just waiting for that person to come up to me and be like, "I want to do this," you know, like.
And what do you have a university nearby at all, or not really?
There are, but
too far.
It's not. I don't know. It's not.
Because I know your university. See, I think your university is like a bank loan. you borrow it, and then as soon as you finish, you got to pay it back, or you go to jail or something, right?
Yeah.
Where in Australia we call what we call HECS fees, is where the average year is about $10,000 Australian.
Mm-hmm.
So a 4-year uni will cost you about 40 grand. And what they call a HECS fee, and the government pays for it all, but they put it on this account. Until you earn over $75,000 as an income, you don't have to pay anything back.
Oh. Yeah.
So you can go to university or learn all about tree hugging, right? Come out of there and work at McDonald's for the rest of your life and never ever pay it back. And so the universities see this, so they're making all these rubbish courses where there's no jobs.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're an engineer, a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, an educator, you know, someone like that, you need university because you need those skill sets, right? But now they're learning a degree in arts and bachelor and all this other rubbish. You know, it's a nothing degree, and they all end up working in cafes and bars and stuff. You know, and eventually they'll get a job somewhere else. And the trouble is, like, this debt sits on. And like I saw a college picker, like he's mentally paying off his debt by reselling as well as working, but he went into a trade that you needed that university degree because you're technically dealing with people's lives when you're distributing pharmaceutical goods.
Yeah, exactly.
but it's an arts degree, a bachelor arts degree, or a multimedia. I mean, God, you can watch YouTube and learn how to bloody program these. HTML, it's not rocket science. And when I used to work in IT, we used to get these guys from university, and what they do, because I used to run the production part, we used to build about 30 to 50 computers a day, and there was about 4 of us in there. And then what I do, I train them up over about 6 or 8 months, and then I push them off to IT, and then they'd learn how to fix computers in-house from customers' computers, and then eventually they'd jump in a company car and go out on the road, and that's how it went. And all these guys, oh yeah, I've done 4 years at university, blah 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 blah, you know, and some of them are humble. Some will say, look, I've done 4 years at uni, I've never picked up a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Well, how can you fix a computer? But they're qualified. They've got a degree. I don't have a degree, but they did, you know. And so anyway, so they got the medial job of 20,000 a year or whatever it was, you know. And then I taught them the ins and out. And then through building new ones, obviously you had fault finding skills that came into play. And then, you know, you'd stick them over on the IT bench for 1 day a week. And then eventually they'd get a massive skill set up and out the door they go, you know. And I had this one guy, he went to university and because they pumped them full, the university, well, you're going to be earning 100,000 a year. You're going to have a company car, and you're going to be doing this. And this guy walks in. He goes, this place got big plans for me. I'll be out on the road in 2 weeks, and I'll have a company car, and I'll be on this much money. And because I had him for the first 2 weeks, so I just passed in the brewer and said, go straight to the warehouse. I went back inside again. He looked at me. I was, well, yeah. And anyway, so the attitude didn't get much better. Anyway, so this is back in the old days, and we had to load the network drivers via 3.5-inch floppy, right?
Yeah.
And I said, just load the network driver on that one for me, could you? He goes, yeah. And I'm just watching. He's just standing there. He's got no clue. I left him there for about 20 minutes. I said, how'd you go? He goes, it's not working. I said, isn't it? Oh, it must be your disk. So I went over to my disk, and I got this thing that's all locked. And it's got do not touch or I'll destroy you and all this. Yeah. It's all my master disks for all the drivers. So I opened up. I got, this is my master disk. I know this works. Yeah. So I put it in, and I left him. I'm kind of watching around the corner of my eye. I left him there for another 20 minutes, right? And he goes, and I walked back over. He said, still not working, huh? He goes, nah, it won't load like this. So I just went bang, bang, bang on the keyboard, enter, ejected the disk, and said, there you go. On the road in 2 weeks, eh? and kind of, and I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to put him down or anything, but just to kind of bring him down to saying, no, you got to have a skill.
Yeah.
And what you learn at university is good theory, but if you're not pulling computers apart and you're not fixing them day in, day out, which is, I mean, there's the software side and there's a hardware side to PCs, and you got to learn both, you know. And I had some technicians that I just, you know, bow to, because some of their knowledge in software was just phenomenal, you know, from Linux right through to you know, Microsoft systems and everything else, you know. But I had no clue on the hardware, and every time there was a big server install, I had to go. Just in case something wrong with the hardware. Like, I built it all, tested it all, make sure it was all working, right? But I'd go anyway, just in case, because there was a hardware issue. I could fix it there and then the software guys could just get on with it. If not, the downtime, because there's like 3 or 4 of them, you know. And then, you got all these staff just hanging around. It's a weekend. You got to have it up and running by Monday so the business can start again. So yeah, it's a big rollout. But it's a lot of fun. But that's the trouble with the university. I think the realism that's just not there, you know. And it's a shame. Like my niece, she's got a degree in animal husbandry, something or other, science, and something all to do with animals, right? But she works. Do you have I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here type TV show? I don't know if you heard of that.
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, neither do I. They basically they put these B-class celebrities off of TV or TV shows on in a place which is kind of inhospitable.
Okay, like
pretty. And then they kind of pour bugs on them, and they make them eat the bugs and all this. Yeah, it's kind of anyway. So there's I think it's the British one or the German one or something, and she looks after all the animals for them. That's kind of filmed just over the border in New South Wales here. So she does all that, but that's only a 3-month thing. And she's been trying to get a job in a zoo because she loves African wildlife. Mm-hmm. And she is so qualified. She is so smart. Oh, you're good?
Yeah, no, something fell.
Doesn't matter. It's only stock. And I picked up one of the textbooks and I started reading it. And about the fifth Latin word, I've just gone, what does this mean? And she just explained it straight off the top of her head without even looking. You know, I'm just like, yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. So she has this skill, but there's no use for it.
Yeah, there's out here. There's so much employment, but yeah, it's just getting the skilled workers. You know, that want to do it. You know, that's the thing. You know, just getting those people that can. I don't know. Because I have some friends at work that are like, we have a place called the it's got Procter and Gamble out here, and they just built a huge plant out here, but they're having trouble getting just skilled workers.
Yeah,
and that can show up every day. That can come to work. You know, so.
And the affordability of housing out that way is cheap or expensive or average.
Yeah. It's cheap. It's you know, if you drive 20 minutes north or 20 minutes south, it's 10, 20 grand more than where I'm currently at. So
yeah.
Well, the kids are getting up. They're gonna watch some TV. Hey, close the door. 5:40.
Cartoon time.
Yeah, they're early risers. So
yeah, my daughter gets up at 5:30, but she kind of goes with the sun because we're in summer now. The sun gets up at about 4 o'clock. Because in Queensland we don't have daylight savings; it's backwards. Every other state down the east coast does, except us. So they reckon it'll fade the curtains. and then I put one excuse. And see, the trouble is, like, when you used to come home from work, say, you know, you'd leave work at 5, you get home at 6. You still had like another hour and a half, so you could take the family to the beach because we live near the beach, or you could mow the lawns. You could do other stuff outside because there was enough light. And the government's arguing, oh yeah, but everyone just come home, turn their air conditioners on, so everyone leaving their lights off for an hour less. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing I don't understand about the States. See, I know so much where you are. You get a lot of snow and a lot of frost and stuff like that. But down south where it's a lot more milder, you know, why don't people have clotheslines? Why does everyone have a clothes dryer that runs on electricity?
Oh man,
I know it's convenience, but like see, in Australia we have what they call the Hills hoist. That's a thingy and it spins basically. You put your clothes on it and it just blows around in the wind and it dries everything. And then you lower it back down, you take your clothes off and you bring them in. That's it. No power needed. It's all wind power.
I mean, they do that in some places, but it's so. I mean,
yeah,
it's Americanized. It's everyone, you know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
do that.
Climate change. Like if everyone down south got rid of their dryers and used clotheslines, you'd save a few carbon bucks.
But yeah, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. But I think our daylight savings time, it's all about. I mean, there's different stories, but I was always told that it was for the farmers.
That's for the war. Brought it for the war, by the war, for the war. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
More daylight hours so they can build more armaments through the day. Yeah.
So I was.
Yeah, I think it came from England. It was to do with the war from memory, but it is a good thing if you don't have, like, if I have to take another hour to turn my lights on, therefore it saves power. You know.
Yeah.
I'm still going to have the ceiling. Like today got to 35 degrees C, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Divide that by.
And that's the trouble we find too in Australia is all the Americanisms on eBay, what we call it. So about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
That's hot.
And all the Americanisms on eBay, like as I said, I was listing a set of headphones, and here comes a loony California law, something about a California law 65 or something.
Yeah.
Headphones.
Yeah.
And it wants me to fill it in. I live in Australia. Your law has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You know, go away, but I have to fill it in. So I go NA.
Yeah. I leave that. It's yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that we've, and like, I don't mean to be rude to Americans at all, don't get me wrong, but punctuation, like women's, is just not an S, it's apostrophe S, right? Yeah. And me and Rod, who do the waffle on Wednesday night, we were mucking around with one of his listings. So he'd change it. I come back in 5 minutes, search for it, and then see if it went up and down in the rankings. And it seems any type of punctuation or brackets or pluses and all these odd characters you use will drive your item down. And he says, yeah, but it's called English. It's apostrophe S. And I said, I understand that, but you've got to make it like it's an American thing. You know, where you got to get rid of the apostrophe. It's just got to be plain text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that way then, because that's the way it's searched. And his thing, I think, was about 20. It jumped 7 places just because he got rid of one apostrophe.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we do spell like men's, MEN apostrophe S. But yeah, for eBay, for some reason, it doesn't want that in there.
It's all men's. Yeah, there's no apostrophes. It's like they're de-punctuating it. Whether that affects their search. See, we call it Americanisms. I don't know why, because it seems that you guys always take shortcuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
Like,
they don't want the punctuation in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even with like
one word I can't stand is when you get a hot iron and some silver stuff and you put it on a circuit board, you call it
soldering.
You say solder.
Solder, yeah, soldering.
It's solder.
Yeah,
it's like you forget the L.
Yeah.
or you say it really, really quickly.
Yeah.
But then in New Zealand they say, what do you say, Subaru or
Subaru? Yeah.
What do you say in New Zealand? Subaru or something. I don't know. They say it a little bit different again. So I mean, and that's fine because that's different countries. There's all different dialects.
Y'all say garage or garage.
Garage, yeah.
Or garage, yeah.
Garage. Yeah.
Like what? Or no, my favorite one, and I love it, and I wish we said it like this, but the metal that's used, like light metal,
aluminium.
Yeah, I'm like, the first time I ever heard that, I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Yeah, aluminium. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of work these things out. But but those words, like same with color, you know, we've got a U in ours, you don't, right? So if we say, oh, it's color blue, that can be detrimental in an eBay search. So we can't say color blue, you know. So what do? We're kind of torn in a way. So
yeah. And do you feel like you're putting more American style listings, or?
Well, see, yeah, I mean, I guess like everything. Like, see, we use metric system. Everything's metric. So millimeters, centimeters, kilometers. We don't use miles, inches, and all that with the Imperial, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, jeans are all measured in inches. Like men are measured in inches. The sizes of shoes, like a US shoe, I've got to take a size off to give me an Australian/UK size.
Okay, so you do a UK size then?
Yeah, so UK is the same as Australia, but the women's shoe is the same as the US and one size smaller than the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hell. It's hell. And you try and list a pair of female jeans that are size 27 inch and you measure them and they're 28 inch. And then you convert that to Australian size. So Australian women's clothing goes in like 8, 9, 10. No, it's 8, 10, 12. And then sometimes they have ones in between like 11 and 13. But yeah, it normally goes by 2. So it'll go right up, say up to really big women will be like 18, 20, like they're mid-type women. And yeah, sometimes it get really tricky because you're measuring centimeters because like, I don't know if my tape measure has inches on it, actually. Yeah, so I don't have inches on here. So
it's so weird.
I'm going to have another window open and put the centimeters in, convert it to inches because it goes, the inseam. And if I put the inseam, because what most men know that their inseam is XYZ inches. Yeah. So we're caught in that barrier because a lot of jeans came from America. Obviously, you got the Levi's and Lee's and all that come across. So we're stuck in that. You know, we did have another system where we used to put it in centimeters, but that kind of has gone by the way, and we've adopted the inch theory. And so now I measure everything in centimeters, and I'm gonna have another window open that converts centimeters to inches.
There you go. I'll pull on my tape measures.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what other tape measure is. I don't know if this has inches either. I don't think it does. Oh yeah, this one's got inches on it. So
yeah.
But no, I'm not going to write centimeters and inches because I write in centimeters, kind of people can understand it, and then I convert it to inches for eBay.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of that Americanism again, where we have to do both. Yeah, which is
I've never really thought about it that way.
Yeah. Like I was talking to, I think it was last night on the Waffle. I think it was the European Space Agency and NASA got together, or I don't know, if it was NASA or Boeing or someone like that, where they were launching a lander to Mars, and someone calculated the booster distance traveled in imperial, like inches. And then Europe were working in centimeters. So they, instead of saying, 2 million inches or whatever it was 2 million centimeters, which is half the distance or something. So when the boosters went in to fly to slow it down as it approached Mars, it just kept going like another couple 100,000 kilometers past before the booster fired, and then the planet's gone. So yeah, they lost it. And it's just something so simple like that, you know what I mean? And the lander that just the Indians try to put on the moon, it just crashed at, I think, the velocity of, was it 300 meters a second or something? And so it just got splat. And but they think there must have been a calculation issue, and I hope it's not the old feet inch thing. So versus centimeters. So
that's crazy.
Anyway, they live and learn. Yeah, so you got to be careful. And but your coins are in metric. You know, I mean, like you got everything's in divisions of 10 or 100 or whatever. You know what I mean? So
we do.
There's 100 cents in a dollar.
Yeah. So
so you've got that part, but you don't like the other part. And you always hear these stories that, like the Civil War in America, and I know I see. I guess, I mean, you're taught a certain thing, we learn a different thing, and then somewhere in between's the truth, I guess. But basically, the Civil War was just to kick the colonial powers out so they could have the whole control of the country. And how they did it is what they did, right? So they said it was about slavery, it was about this and that. So they got rid of England and everything else, France, Portugal, and Spain, and whoever else had their camps there, basically sending everything back to Europe as plunder, So that's where and they took over, basically solidifying the country as we know it today, right? United States, right? But they also didn't tell you that the United States got real cocky and thought, okay, well, up north, we got Canada all owned by the British. Let's go and give them a hug and see if we can go get that. And the Canadians flogged them. But you don't hear any of that, you know what I mean? So, the US got trounced. But, I mean, it's all history. And as I say, that it's one of those things. But I think I lost my point here. I don't know where I was going with all that. But
you were going after Americanisms.
yeah, that's it.
I'll get my dog out real quick.
Yeah, no worries, man.
All right, there we go.
Oh, here we go. New Zealand's trying to clone. Kiwis trying to claim daylight savings, are they? Oh, you gotta love Wiki. Just in the chat.
Yeah, right.
Myra's typed, so that according to Wiki, New Zealand also said they made the pavlova of Australia.
Myra's from my part of the country.
Oh, yeah, she's a local girl. Yeah.
She's a West Virginian.
Oh, yeah.
She's a native West Virginian. I think she's a native West Virginian. I'm originally from Texas, so.
Oh, okay. Are you sick of the heat, tornadoes, or like the cold, or what?
I moved out here chasing women, so.
Yeah.
that'll do it to you. That'll do it to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cheap out here, and I mean, I've established roots out here, so I don't think I'm leaving.
Home is what you make it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm originally from Victoria, which is about 2,000 k's, which I guess I don't know what's that. That's 1,600 miles away, I guess maybe. And then I moved up to Queensland. I was sick of my job. I was sick of the weather in Melbourne because it rained. Like, we try to plan something every weekend, and it rained 45 weekends in a row or something. I was just like, nah, I'm going to Queensland. It's sunshine, tropical. Here we go.
Yeah, that sounds like Seattle, Washington, where it's all the
So I
time.
moved up here and then met a girl and everything, and that didn't work out. But I hung around. So
Yeah, that's how I'm like. Met a girl.
have I been to Hobbiton? Yeah, my wife's actually from New Zealand. She's from Rotorua, where all the volcanic hot springs and all that are, and the mud things and what geysers, geysers. What do you call them? Geysers?
Yeah, geysers. Oh, mine is
Some
in Jacksonville, Florida now.
Oh, there you go. She's moved.
She moved.
Oh, well, hey, I'd move to Florida too. Get away from the snow.
Right? Yeah, she lived in. I think she lived in the part of the state that it snows more. We're out more east, like across the mountains, so it doesn't hit us as bad.
Yeah, I went to Canada at Christmas time when I was about 26, I think, and I went to Vancouver and I went over to Toronto. I went to one place, it's Sault Ste. Marie, which is kind of on the border of Michigan there, of Canada. You had to cross the thing, and I was in with these Canadians, and we're crossing the bridge into the US. And this is before all the terrorist stuff happened, and it just say yeah. The guy, the American sticks, the border guy goes, "You all Canadians? Yeah." Okay. We all went through, so jumped the border, went to Walmart and everything, did some shopping, and come back again. So yeah, no, it was good. Then I went into Chicago and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I just went to this bar and just sat down and had a drink, and this guy, he's from Texas. Not saying people from Texas are bad or anything. And he was a big boy, but so am I. He goes, see these chainsaws like this? Well, oh, yeah. And he goes, I could beat anyone in this bar like this. I'm like, okay. Yeah, like this. And he didn't even realize I had an accent. Like, he had no clue. He's drunk as. And he's like trying to tee up a fight with me, you know? Like this. Anyway, and there was this, African-American guy. Man, his hands were just massive. They were like football. Like, I reckon he could squash a football in one hand. He must have been close to 7 foot tall. The guy was a unit. Like, he just picked up a pop, you know. And I pointed to Tex. I said, "What about the guy at the door?" "Oh, no, not him."
Yeah. They'll get you.
And I just moved tables after that. Yeah.
Well, hey, Drew, I got to wrap it up. I got to get my kids.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, thanks for the chat.
Yeah, this is fun. I got to get them ready. My oldest son, he's got to go to school early. He's got to be dropped off around like 6:45. So that's why I kind of stay up during the night, so I don't oversleep, because we were oversleeping, rushing out the kids. So I stay up now, and then once I drop them off, I'll come home and sleep for like 4 or 5 hours and start my day. Yeah. I start my day around noon.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. So well, hey, it was great chatting with you.
Yeah, nice to have a chat. And if I've offended anyone, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. I think everyone this time has thick skin. So we'll have to do this again, Drew. All right.
Sorry, mate.
We'll have to do this again. All right.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds
all
great. All right. Catch you.
Thanks for everyone watching too.
Yeah. All right. See you. Bye-bye.